Bilge to me, that's what that sounded like. But we love Australians here. I think Bruce did a fine job there as we look at Chris Evert-Lloyd taking her last practice serves. But the truth is that Australians are extremely popular here, even though they took the America's Cup away from Newport. And there were many Americans who were delighted that they won it because the Australians are such great sports and certainly were much better sports than the people from the New York Yacht Club who used to run this event and steal it a lot of times from the Australians. But finally the Australians, despite all the protests, won the America's Cup, and they've got it in Perth, and if you think they're ever going to give it back, ha, 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 ha. So here's Wendy Turnbull, that Australian whom we've just heard talking. And across the net, as we look at how they got here, against Howell and Ludloff. Who's Howell? Who's Howell? Who's Howell, Mary? She's a new one on me. Katie McDaniel and Robin White. One of the Fernandez, I guess that's Gigi and Marcella Mesker. But who's Howell?
Linda Howell is her name.
Thank you.
An American.
I knew you'd come up with it. Here's Liz Smiley, who it was half the doubles team of Smiley and Kathy Jordan who stopped this woman, Pam Shriver, after she and her partner Martina Navratilova had rung up the all-time tennis winning streak of 109 consecutive victories. That was in the Wimbledon final. So, Leah Antonopoulos and Pam Whitecross were the first victims, and then the fair Heather Crow, left-hander, out of Salem, Massachusetts, and Heavenly Gates, better known as Linda, and then Alicia Moulton and Ava Pfaff. Straight set victories.
What a fine Wimbledon Liz Smiley had all around, but every single event.
Beating Hanna Mandlikova in the singles. And so, this team of Smiley and Shriver has done very well. They won Melbourne, and they won the Australian indoor title together. So, Wendy Turnbull leads off. Best of three sets. Chet Orrell is the umpire, and he's in the chair. Where else would the umpire be?
I think Wendy is very relaxed and loose in playing this doubles final. She was hitting during the singles final with Eva Pfaff left-handed. Must be feeling pretty good about her game. These two have partnered one another before. They played some doubles in 1984. They're playing New Orleans together in 85 before Wendy switches back to Hanna Mandlikova.
15 all.
Pam Shriver and Martina Navratilova beat Wendy Turnbull and Hanna in the semis of Wimbledon this year.
Evert-Lloyd.
Chris would love to play more doubles with Wendy. She enjoys playing with Wendy, and she very easily concedes the fact that Wendy is the better doubles player.
But as Wendy says, when you have a player who returns serve as well as Chris Evert-Lloyd, that is a tremendous asset in doubles.
One of the reasons why Kathy Rinaldi has made a mark for herself in doubles.
Right.
These baseliners know how to play this game.
Shriver, Turnbull, and it's Wendy's.
Thirty all.
Very windy down there right now. We'll see even more spin than usual on the players' serves.
Turnbull, Smiley, Evert-Lloyd, Shriver, Turnbull.
Deuce.
Pam Shriver in her 10th doubles final of the season. She's won 8.
But I thought Pam was very emotional.
She was about ready to cry, I thought, when the presentation was being made. She came in here feeling that this was the day, and instead 0 and 15 against Evert Lloyd. Long and a break point.
Advantage Shriver.
Liz Smiley nearly had her way with Wendy Turnbull in the singles here. She was up 4-1 in the final set. Couldn't pull it out.
A wind will be a factor. You can hear the great trees behind Turnbull rustling. And there's the break.
James Shriver, Smiley, they win the first game.
1 game to none for Smiley and Shriver. And we'll return to the Newport Casino after this. Wind. Pam Shriver serving to Wendy Turnbull. Turnbull handles that one.
12-15.
Ooh, it's good. Turnbull.
Love 30.
Out.
15, 30.
Long.
A nice stretch by Liz Smiley, but she was off balance on a very nice lob by Chris. Some break points against Pam. She was so terribly upset with her serving in the singles final.
And a break point.
Pam said,
And
I never established my favorite serve, the wide one, to the deuce court.
1 game all, 2 straight breaks to open this doubles final. So the serve will go to Evert Lloyd.
Out.
15 love.
No, wide.
$30.
A few more Pam Shriver quotes that she gave to the written press right after the match. She said, I need to have those kind of matches. I need to fail. I need to succeed in order to grow as a tennis player. I think she's still a little down, even going into the doubles final. As we said, she was very emotional after that match.
She sure was.
30-15.
Pam said, you know, I haven't played Chris in 2.5 years. She said 2.5 years is a long time in a tennis player's career. A lot's happened to both of us, she said, in that period of time.
Evert Lloyd.
40-15.
2-1 for Everett Lloyd and Turnbull. As Chrissy holds serve, so we'll return for the serve of Lizzie Smiley. It's Shriver who triumphs. Liz Smiley, the server, is 22. Comes from the west coast of Australia, Perth, where the America's Cup will be sailed. First of the match. She's worth watching and has had very little, if any, American TV time. So, hi, Lizzie. Won the U.S. mixed doubles.
John Fitzgerald.
A couple of years ago. A fellow Aussie. She's from Perth. John Fitzgerald from Kakalichi. Farm boy. Smiley, and who can do it? All of us.
15-40.
The hacker lives within each of us, regardless of our computer ranking.
I think all the players know how tough Liz truly is as a doubles player. Martina has played with her. Pam Shriver is now. Kathy Jordan. She gets the good partners. You play against her a few times and you grow to realize how smart she is in doubles. She is missing those first serves.
So, she loses serve. 3-1 as Turnbull will take her turn as server. 3 breaks of serve in 4 games. Queenslander Wendy Turnbull serving to the Western Australian Lizzie Smiley. Lizzie Sayers Smiley.
15 love.
Her husband Peter Smiley. They're relative newlyweds. He's her coach.
Love.
Turnbull.
40.
The elder on the court at 32. Net cord.
Out.
40-15.
Turnbull holds her serve. 4-1 for Turnbull and Everett Lloyd. And we'll return to the doubles championship after this.
The story of a product light years ahead of its time. The superstar of hair conditioning. A miracle product for skin, adding much needed moisture as it cleanses, leaving skin you love to touch. A secret formula beamed down from the heavens along with me, the medicine man. Unicure is #1 for quality, performance, and value. We of the Planet Unicure dare you to try and prove us wrong. We are tomorrow's product for today's family.
Introducing Coca-Cola Close. Coca-Cola Close, presented by Merjani.
So on the lawn at Newport Casino, here's Pam Shriver trying to get some consolation for losing that single. And Liz Smiley, reflex.
But it will be important for Liz to really take charge of this match. It's easy after a tough loss, a very draining one for Pam, to just go through the motions in the second match of the day. And Martina, I think, knows how to urge Pam on. Pam knows how to do it to Martina if need be. So Liz will have to take control a bit.
30 love.
Out.
30-15.
Shriver trailing 1-4.
All.
Shriver's only participated in one losing doubles match this season. That the Wimbledon final alongside Martina Navratilova. Ooh, it's coming back. No.
Pam thanking her partner for finishing this point in a nice way.
So,
big smash coming up. Chris couldn't get it back.
Chris Evert Lloyd is the server. 4-2 lead for her and Wendy Turnbull.
Love.
Chrissy played with Joe Dury at Wimbledon, and they got to the quarterfinals.
Chris doesn't have a normal partner, but it's interesting you brought that up. But she always becomes one half of a very popular team. She played with Dury in England. She played with young Pascal Paradis in France. Played with Billie Jean King last U.S. Open. So everywhere she goes, though she's not always seated too highly in doubles, people cheer her on.
Out. 30.
Turnbull.
30 all.
Wendy intercepts that one well. One of the key errors to Pam Shriver's game, when it goes off, she can't get that slice backhand return down low enough.
What a point, and Evert Lloyd and Turnbull both retrieving extraordinarily.
40-30.
Chrissy holds serve for a 5-2 lead alongside Wendy Turnbull.
They lead 5-2.
And let's go to Bruce Beck, talking about another of the renowned women in the Hall of Fame. Actually, the first black permitted to play in United States Tennis Association sanctioned events. That was in the seniors, about 1950. Until then, it was strictly all white in the United States. A disgrace, but it did exist. But those days, happily, are past. So they're going right after Lizzie Sayers. 2 points from the set, and Everett Lloyd still riding the crest of that singles victory, and Wendy Turnbull are very sharp, avid, and active. Wide.
15-30.
It's a great return by Chris, Bud, but
I'll say. And
that being said, Pam really looked flat at the net.
set points.
Out.
30-40.
Set point number 2. With Liz Smiley looking down the barrel into those narrow green eyes of Chris Everett Lloyd, the woman who says, I can't stand to lose. And she doesn't spend much time losing. Whoops.
Deuce.
Well, Turnbull played a magnificent point, nearly pulling Lizzie's arm out of the socket with a couple of shots, and then
Advantage Everett Lloyd.
widening the middle aperture. And set point number 3.
Deuce.
Second deuce.
What Wendy does better than any of the players on this court, Bud, is that she always continues to close into the net.
Advantage Smiley.
Wide deuce 3.
Deuce.
Turnbull persists and has another set point.
And one more example of just how insistent
Advantage Turnbull.
Wendy is on coming to the net, closing it off better than anyone else.
Set point number 4. Smiley to Everett Lloyd.
Deuce.
And deuce number 4. Wide.
Advantage.
Felt good to
Right.
Wendy.
Mm-hmm. Net cord. Smiley gets out of the bunker. Hold serve.
Game. Right. Smiley. Turnbull. Lloyd.
Nice playing here by Liz Smiley. This shot of Chris's Sits up high enough to open up the court.
So she erased 4 set points, but now Turnbull serves for the set at 5-3. Good chip return by Smiley.
Pam seems a little more alert. I think she knows her partner's trying as hard as she can. She just won her tough service game. And Pam is starting to talk to her partner, saying, all right, this one, let's go. Obviously looking for a forehand.
Turnbull.
Boy, that's a knifing volley. I can't say enough just how closely she gets to the net to tag those volleys and really cut them off.
Long.
30-15.
First double fault for the Rabbit, Wendy Turnbull. Second double fault for Wendy.
30-40.
Wendy knows that Liz likes her forehand, and I think she tried to guide it to her backhand a little too much.
And a break point. And break.
That's a tough return by Pam.
So, 5 games to 4 now for Turnbull and Everett Lloyd, and Bruce Beck asked Pam Shriver about that doubles defeat at Wimbledon in the final with Martina against Smiley and Kathy Jordan.
My doubles partner, well, it was a little disappointing at Wimbledon this year because 109 straight wins, you never want to lose, but we had to lose sometime, and Smiley and Jordan played, I think, the match of their life, and they deserved to win the match, and so now we're going to start all over again from zero.
Ice cream. Ice cream. So, Bruce Beck, thank you for that chat with Pam Shriver. And what a streak that was for Shriver and Navratilova, which lasted 2.5 years without a defeat. 109 straight tournament victories, or tournament match victories, that's correct. 109 in a row. And 23 straight tournaments were involved there. But finally, Smiley and Kathy Jordan got them at the big W. And the score was 5-7, 6-3, 6-4. Here's Pam Shriver trying to get even at 4-5. Look out.
Fifteen love.
That winning smash again. An easy lob for Pam to handle.
15 all. Net cord.
Oh. 30.
Everett Lloyd has the alley.
(15-20).
Here are more set points for Everett Lloyd and Turnbull. This is their 5th. Everett Lloyd. Shriver, it's gone, and so is the set. 6-4. For Everett Lloyd
First set, Turnbull
and Turnbull.
6-4.
A nice set point. Chris hits this one real hard. Kind of stuns Smiley a little bit. And Cam can't handle Wendy's volley. They really are outplaying their opponents right now, Chris and Wendy. Just playing more solid doubles.
So Chris Everett Lloyd on her way to a double as she opens serving in the 2nd set. I'm Bud Collins, Mary Carrillo, Bruce Beck, statistician Andrea Gerlin, Mother Superior, Howie Singer. We're all here.
Block 15.
Boy, are we glad we're here. Do we love it in Newport? Oh, terrible to leave.
I'm staying.
I don't blame you. So many good places to eat. Black Pearl, White Horse Tavern, The Ark, Petit Auberge. Oh, my. Turnbull. The White Horse Tavern is the oldest saloon in America. Did you know that, Mary? George Washington slurped there. And every morning, there's a tradition at the White Horse Tavern. Every morning at 6:30, they set a bucket of beer on the front step for our old friend Roberto Bachet, who lives across the street. So, first game of the 2nd set, Chris Everett Lloyd. And we'll be back for more of this championship match in just a moment.
Here's Chris Everett Lloyd.
When I'm working, I make sure I have the best equipment, the best shoes, the best racket, and between sets, the best tasting refreshment I can find. Lipton Iced Tea Mix with NutraSweet. Lipton's a great thirst quencher, and I think its special blend makes it taste best. And out here, anything less than the best just isn't good enough.
Now in decaffeinated too.
Competition. Part of the American dream. To the winner goes the glory. Claremont knows your luxury car, Cadillac. Now's the time to own a fabulous Claremont Cadillac or Pontiac, all at prices that beat the competition. When you play to win, go with 2 names that mean the best. Claremont Cadillac, the competitor. West Caldwell, New Jersey.
Liz Smiley, the server. The Pearl of Perth, they call her. They used to call Martina Navratilova the Pearl of Girth before she got in such great shape. And now she's an example to all of them.
You know, but Mrs. Shriver was telling me this morning that she is one day going to put together a list of all the names that her kid has been called through the years. I think you've given her 50 at least.
Margot Shriver. She's here watching her daughter try to reclaim something from this afternoon, along with husband Sam Shriver. And there they are, seated up in the corner of the enclosure at the north end, hand on chin. Very lovely people. Well, for Lizzie,
30 all.
that's number 2.
And that's a tendency of Sayers on the serve. Very often her second serve is just as flat as her first. So she is prone to double faulting.
So Everett Lloyd will receive. Playing with the Lloyd family's designated partner, Wendy Turnbull. Turnbull plays mixed doubles with Chrissy's husband, John Lloyd, because Chrissy said, I wouldn't play with him. She says, you can have that extramarital tennis affair with him.
James Driver Smiley. James are
1 game all. Second set. The first set went to Wendy Turnbull and Chris Everett Lloyd. Wendy Turnbull was asked why she's playing doubles with John Lloyd. She said he's got the greatest legs in the game. So it's an aesthetic choice. Chris Everett Lloyd was very serious when she said, you know, marriage is tough enough, she said, without trying to play mixed doubles with your husband. Oh, Turnbull sets herself up so gloriously with those angles.
So true. It was wonderful when Wendy Turnbull and Rosie Casals used to play with each other, Bud, because that's what they did so well. Just moving the ball all over the court, carving it up with
Not
lobs and
overpowering
dings.
you.
No.
Ball.
They were also one of the shortest doubles teams to be so successful in the women's game.
40.
Everyone tried to lob over them, but it was tough. Rosie loved to leap. So did Wendy. Very smooth service game for Wendy.
Turnbull, and it's 2 games to 1 for Turnbull and Everett Lloyd in the second set, and they have the first set in hand. So we'll come back to see what happens.
After playing against some pretty tall competition, you probably think I shower with the deodorant soap. Not anymore, because I made a break from deodorant soaps. A clean break with Ivory. Look inside. Ivory's a basic natural soap. Not like soaps that leave deodorants or heavy perfumes all over you. With Ivory, I feel clean, I smell clean. And that's an honest clean.
Make a clean break with Ivory. No soap can get you cleaner, no matter what size the competition.
Explorers, the adventure begins in your own backyard.
Let's face it, somebody's calling us. Look how fast we're going. I bet we could go anywhere. What if we want to go back? Go back? Now you say this?
Explorers.
Nice going, kid.
Rated PG. Now playing at a theater near you.
Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. The new uniform.
They look like a team, a doubles team.
Oh, yes.
You're supposed to wear the same thing.
That's right.
All white on the noses here. A set in 2-1 for Chris Everett Lloyd and Wendy Turnbull.
Oh!
And except for a few moments like that, they seem to be in total control of this. Somewhat deflated Pam Shriver.
Out. 30 love.
I'm not saying that Pam isn't game and willing to win this match, but I really do think she was put through the emotional ringer in that singles final against Chris.
15. All.
It's not that Pam thought that she was going to beat Chris on this day. I don't think that's why she's so upset, but also that she knows she bruised Chris's feelings with her words at Wimbledon. She was a bit repentant today. Nice get.
She got it.
Really was a nice scoop here by Pam. She races to it and shovels it up, but unfortunately she hit it right back to Chris. So once more, a break point against her serve. A tough day of serving for Pam Shriver.
Ball.
Oh, and down goes Lizzie Smiley.
3-1.
So another break of serve. And it's 3-1 for the leading team, Turnbull and Everett Lloyd, with the serve to go to Chris Everett Lloyd. Turnbull.
15 all.
Well. Big ace for Chrissy.
30.
That couldn't have come at a better moment
That's
for
the
Chris.
first of the match. And Shriver said after the singles match, she said, I can tell how much better Chrissy is serving than the last time I played her 2.5 years ago. Because she never served an ace against me that I can remember, and she served one today.
15. Game Turnbull over Lloyd. They lead 4-1.
4 games to 1. Chris Everett Lloyd and Wendy Turnbull. And their winning beat seems to be going on here today. Who's going to stop her? Looks like no one. This program is authorized by LK Sports solely for the entertainment of our audience. And any publication, rebroadcast, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this event, including the imposition of a charge for viewing the program without the express written consent of LK Sports, is prohibited. That is bad news for my Uncle Studley, who always charges to watch these telecasts in his living room. People sit near the chicken coop. That's where the television set is. And look out for the goats.
He's still running that scam, huh?
He does run that, and he doesn't care. I read that announcement, and he just sends me a note and says, well, you know what he says. It's 2 words. He says, you're trying to stop me from making a living in the US of A. So, tough times for Lizzie Smiley and Pam Shriver, who trail. 1-4 and a set.
All right.
15 love.
Ooh, and she catches Chris Evert Lloyd. And I don't blame her. Perhaps some solace for Pam Shriver.
You can't beat him, hit him.
Wide.
40-15.
Think there was a little extra zip on the ball of Chris Evert Lloyd in the next point? Seems so to me.
Well, she is hitting the ball harder than at any time in her career. 15th year for her on the circuit.
40-30.
I think she's a long way from quitting.
You do?
As long as she's improving, I think she'll keep playing. I think she values her place in history very highly, and she wants more of the majors, the big 4, Wimbledon, US Open, French, and Australia. Now, Mary Carrillo is going to her weather-beaten book. She's going to tell us something. I wish you could see this book. Looks like my Uncle Studley's little black book, only it's big. Smiley, but she can't win it. Shriver, can she win it? No, the rabbit comes up with it, but that's gone.
Game, Shriver Smiley.
4-2.
Turnbull, Evert Lloyd lead 4-2.
For Turnbull and Evert Lloyd.
Part of that last point, again, a lot of racing around, some terrific gets by Chris and Wendy. But Liz has the last word.
Wendy Turnbull to serve. Mary Carrillo still leafing through her indecipherable notebook.
I certainly hope it's worth it when I do find this.
Gosh, after this build-up, it better be.
Well, this is what Chris said. I did find it, as a matter of fact. This was late in 1984. Chris said, I'm conceding this year to Martina. There's nothing I can do about that. But I can improve, she said. Deep down inside, I've lost the belief that I can beat Martina on the tough points. Somehow I've got to get that back, and it starts with hard work. I'm willing to do it, Chris said. She also said, now this is when she hadn't beaten Martina at all. She said, next year is going to be very interesting. Maybe I'll get cocky.
And at that point, Martina had beaten her 13 straight. And now she's beaten Martina twice this year.
She did what she said she was going to do.
She has improved, no doubt about it. Eyebrow to eyebrow, and the point goes to Turnbull.
30 love.
Wendy Turnbull, who has won most of the big doubles titles. She has won the US Open, she's won the French, she's won Wimbledon.
With different partners as well.
Yeah. Yours. Shriver.
Well, that had to feel kind of good.
40-15.
Yes, it did.
Clearly one of the best points Pam has played today. She's thinking to herself, why haven't I done that a little bit more on this glorious Sunday? Big return. Nicely timed. Liz had to take it a bit off her back foot, but her balance was still there, and she got it off like a shot. Still in trouble, though. And once more, Pam hoping for a forehand.
Ooh, ooh! Shriver, and they get to deuce from 40 live.
A very tough point. Pam off balance, she recovers so quickly to finish it off, bring it back to deuce. Pam might not always move her feet well at the net, but she's got pretty snaky shoulders.
And now a break point. First of the set against Turnbull or Everett Lloyd. And maybe this can get a sneaker in the door. Turnbull breaks herself with her third double fault. And so, she and Chris Everett Lloyd lead 4-3, but they've lost their service break lead. We're coming back.
Once again, the $500,000 Virginia Slims Championships at Madison Square Garden set world
advantage of a let-up by Wendy Turnbull that included a double fault. And so they're at 3-4. And Turnbull immediately delivers a winning return. The turf is getting scruffy. And another let called by Sandy Fortescue Fitch, and I believe this is a first. She's doing a double-header, Iron Woman duty at the net. She has done both matches. Sandy Fortescue Fitch, she does not remember her great-grandfather, Fingers Fortescue, who devised the science of netry, but she has followed in his handprints very well. Ooh! Turnbull! Can you recall a net judge working both ends of a doubleheader? Carrillo?
I'm trying to think, but...
Boy, her hands have got to be tough.
What a pro.
Yeah. Soaks him in brine. Smiley!
The pace of this match has truly picked up in just the last couple of games.
You've heard of dishwater hands. What about a net judge working both matches? Break points.
What is it with my day up this end of the court?
A rhetorical question Pam Shriver asks herself all over the court, not only on that side of the net, has she had her share of headaches.
Uh-oh. Oh, Turnbull. Turnbull again. Turnbull stonewalls and gets it.
But I'll tell you, if I were having to play against this team, I would avoid Wendy Turnbull as much as possible. But in this exchange, like so many others, they keep hitting it at her, and she keeps replying.
So, Stonewall Turnbull. Take that. And that sets up Chris Everett Lloyd with the serve for the championship. with a lead of 6-4, 5-3. And it could be a double for Evert Lloyd today. A rare one for her. She had one last year. Won both the singles and doubles.
Ooh, nice swing volley.
15 all.
So break points.
Good returning game for both Liz and Pam.
Whoops, there goes the break. And so the crowd livens up. Nobody wants to go home. 5-4 for Evert Lloyd and Turnbull as Bruce Beck introduces us to another one of the illustrious women tucked into the International Tennis Hall of Fame here at Newport.
Helen Wills Moody Rourke, or Little Miss Poker Face, was the undisputed queen of women's tennis during the Roaring '20s. Among Helen's achievements were an unequaled 8 Wimbledon titles, 7 United States, and 4 French championships. From 1927 to 1932, Helen did not lose a set in singles competition. Her game featured an unusually strong serve and formidable ground strokes, a combination which often overpowered her opponents. A much-heralded rivalry with Helen Jacobs, they were known as the Two Helens, was climaxed in 1938 when Wills came out of retirement to defeat Jacobs for her 8th Wimbledon title and final match. Helen Wills Moody Rourke simply dominated women's tennis during her time.
Well, thanks, Bruce, and I hope Helen Wills Moody was watching in her Carmel, California home. Great lady of tennis. So, Liz Smiley serving to get even. But Turnbull is...
Love 15.
irresistible.
Off.
It's good. But that could blow. No, it's okay. Evert Lloyd, Shriver, and Pam has
it. Real nice that this team of Smiley and Shriver were able to pull this back, get themselves back into the net off a tough lob. And Pam with that slashing backhand volley.
30-15. Why? Smiley was beaten. She was a bit despondent as she looked up at that lob and then very pleased to hear the linesman's call of out. 40-15. Oh, you alley cat, but she's long and it's 5 games off. Listen to them whoop it up. They want to see 3 sets out here at the Newport Casino. It's gorgeous. early evening in July. You won't find a nicer day ever. Sea breeze blowing. 4 terrific tennis players.
Must be a lot of boats out on the water today, a lot of sailboats.
Change of balls.
Really is a little windy for tennis.
After the 20th game, umpire Chet Orrell reminds the players that they must turn in the old pellets, and here are the new ones as Turnbull serves. Changing balls after the first 11 games, here after every 9. After the first 9 games, here after every 11. I'll learn someday.
30 love.
Strokes getting very short for the receivers in this game. They might be feeling a little tightness.
And actually, Mary, it's getting cool where we are on top of the ballpark.
Very breezy.
Yeah. Very pleasant to be playing, though, in the sunshine.
40
Bad luck for the team of Shriver and Smiley, because they just played 2 very bold games of tennis, and this one has slipped by them so quickly.
Ball.
(6-5) for Turnbull and Everett Lloyd.
A little too shy in that last game, you know, but they had to play heads-up tennis, try to receive the ball and really do something with it. And instead, I think they exercised a bit too much caution.
Well, Pam Shriver will be serving after the 90-second changeover break to try to inject us into the roulette of the tiebreaker. And it's only fair that we have a tiebreaker here, because this is the home of the tiebreaker, which was conceived by Jimmy Van Allen with a little help from his friend Mike Blanchard, who used to umpire the matches here. And Jimmy told us earlier about how he got disgusted with long deuce-set matches, and one of the worst days of his life. As we look at James Van Allen, the Newport Bolshevik, a scion of a very wealthy family, went to Cambridge. It was a Cambridge Blue, but was one of the more thoughtful people in the game of tennis, a game that wasn't overloaded with such. And the worst day of his life, though, was here at Newport in 1967, when this match was played. Dick Leach and Dick Dell defeated Tom Mosier and Len Schloss 3-6, 49-47, 22-20. Took 2 days to play, 147 games, longest match ever played, and that certainly convinced Jimmy Van Allen that there was a better way to score tennis than to have license plate scores.
Does sound like a pretty depressing match.
Oh, it was awful. It was here. They wore out 2 or 3 umpires, had to send out for new balls across the street.
Pizza.
And Dick Dell lived to tell the story. He's now Gabriela Sabatini's agent. Woo! Shriver, Everett Lloyd, Shriver, Turnbull. It's good. Smiley. Turnbull, Shriver, Turnbull, Smiley. Out.
15 off.
Net cord. Ooh. Ooh. Turnbull, Shriver, and they've got her at 15:30.
Really cooking with the pace, both Chris and Wendy in that last one. And sometimes that's enough. All things being equal, if you hit it a little bit harder, you gain the advantage.
And this match is cooking. 15-30. 2 points from victory. The receiving team, Chris Evert Lloyd and Wendy Turnbull. Uh-oh. Shriver, Turnbull, Shriver.
Took a while for Pam to get the ball by Wendy. She took that one, but not that.
30 all. Evert Lloyd, Smiley, Turnbull. Long.
The quality of play has picked up so much in the second set.
40.
Pam kind of sleepwalking through that first one. Some errors from both Pam and Liz. They want a tiebreaker.
Ooh, Shriver. It does go out, following the directive of Shriver. 6 games all, and it's Tingle time.
James Shriver Smiley, gained a 6-all tiebreaker.
Good stab there by Pam.
Evert Lloyd to serve.
And on this next shot, they go for the lob, but it's long by a few feet.
Lingering death, 1st to 7 by a margin of 2. Chris Evert Lloyd leads off. She'll serve the first point. Each woman 2 points thereafter. First point, 1-0 for Evert Lloyd and Turnbull. The serve goes to Lizzie Smiley.
0-1.
So the match will either end in this tiebreaker, or we will enter an ultimate third set. Chris Evert Lloyd trying for a double. She registered one in Los Angeles last autumn, winning the singles and doubles. Out, a mini break.
0-2.
2 points to 0 for Turnbull and Evert Lloyd as Smiley continues to serve.
Very high lob.
Very high and long. 2 points to 1 for Turnbull and Evert Lloyd. Turnbull to serve.
Turnbull to serve. 2-1.
The goal is 7 with a margin of 2. The Union Jack in the background. And it is blowing. Points to 1, Turnbull and Evert Lloyd. Four points to 1, Turnbull and Evert Lloyd, and Shriver will serve.
Shriver to serve. 1-4.
And will this be Shriver's last stand today? She needs both points on serve. Turnbull goes down the middle where she should go and has 5 points to 1. She and Evert Lloyd as they change ends.
5.
A must point for the server, Pam Shriver, as she reaches the south end. Otherwise, 5 match points for Evert Lloyd and Turnbull, who lead 5 points to 1 in this breaker. Crunch. 5 points to 2 for Everett Lloyd, who has the serve. The championship is on her racket. She'll be serving 2 points with a 5 points to 2 lead. Six points to 2. Match points, championship points, 4 of them. Everett Lloyd, Turnbull, will not be denied. 7 points to 2. Wendy Turnbull and Chris Everett Lloyd enter the winner's circle in doubles. Virginia Slims of Newport by defeating Pam Shriver, who took a double dip today, and Liz Sayers Smiley, 6-4, 7-6, 7 points to 2 in the tiebreaker. Here's match point once more. Mary?
Very nice, solid playing by both Chris and Wendy today. I would give the nod to Wendy as the player, the best player on the court. She really took charge of so many of the points and won that last one.
Yes, sir. So Chris Everett Lloyd swept the grass at the Newport Casino, what's left of it anyway, and we'll return to wrap it up. The Virginia Slims of Newport, but first this.
You can travel the whole world over. It's beauty to explore. The Sullivan County Catskills will make you love New York. With all the treasures and the pleasures any wonderland can offer. It's a little bit like heaven, only closer. A little bit like heaven.
The Sullivan County Catskills, where the world's great resort hotels bid you a warm welcome.
Only closer.
Here's Lipton tea lover Don Meredith.
Don, I've had it. Harold, I'm so thirsty.
Harold, I know what you need. Some icy cold, brisk Lipton tea.
Brisk? What's brisk?
It's that special Lipton taste. Comes from a special blend in this rascal.
Hey, that is brisk.
Mm-hmm. It's the best tasting tea I know.
I feel terrific.
Then let's exercise some more.
Not that terrific. Good, I feel good.
You rascal.
And with Jonathan Livingston Siegel looking on, we see the doubles result. It was Everett Lloyd with her second title of the day, with Wendy Turnbull. The doubles over Shriver and Smiley, 6-4, 7-6, 7 points to 2 in the breaker. And Chrissy started her double by defeating Pam Shriver, 6-4, 6-1. So a double downfall for Pam Shriver today, and I think it was a tough one for her to take, Mary.
Yeah, I really do think that it really bound her up, and she just couldn't recover in time to play a very strong doubles match after that tough singles loss.
I don't know how this will affect her morale. You may now gloat, you and Bruce Beck. You did select Chris Everett Lloyd to win it. I picked Shriver. I really felt Shriver was ready. The court wasn't bouncing very well, but it just showed us what a player Chris Everett Lloyd was. The ball was bouncing about as high as a grasshopper's knee, but she hounded them all.
Yes, she did. It's only recently that I've come to agree with a lot of the people who say that Chris is playing the best tennis of her life. I thought that she had passed that, and now I'm with you. I think she is playing her best tennis.
Well, that is one thing I did say a little while ago. She is playing the best tennis of her life, and Shriver confirmed that. Shriver, who had not played against her in 2 1/2 years and can sure wait 2 1/2 years more. And now, Bruce Beck, your thoughts?
Thank you, Bud. I think one of the interesting things about Chris Everett Lloyd's play today was that she saved her best for last. Earlier in the week, she struggled a little bit. Today, well, she played flawless tennis. Another thing about Newport, to come to Newport and experience it, it's not only historic, but it's a place of a special charm. And I think that for every tennis fan out there that wants to, at some point of his or her life, come to Newport, they will really see something very special. And so, Bud and Mary, it's been a pleasure working with you during the past weekend. And from the hallowed green grass courts here at Newport, I throw it back to you high atop the stadium.
Thank you, Bruce Beck. Nice to have Rookie Beck with us here. He has also trod the hallowed asphalt of Mahwah, New Jersey, and we'll be back there in a few weeks on this network. And we could sell Bruce a roadmap to Newport if he'd like to come back, Mary.
Good idea.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. So we hope that you will come around and see the International Tennis Hall of Fame. It's open all year round, and you can play on these grass courts, anybody, for the payment of a fee. So until next time, I'm Bud Collins with Mary Carrillo, Bruce Beck, saying keep on hacking and don't stub your toe.